Welcome to episode 51 of Run It Straight, where we answer your questions about how to get better at rugby league. We don't sidestep the difficult topics, but rather give direct, straight up answers. In essence, we run it straight. Question 1. As a small lock, 5'8", 173 centimetres, under 16s, what can I do to have an edge against the bigger players for reps? I'm assuming that means for rep trials, because of the time of year that we're recording this. First, that was really good, but just let us know what your weight is, because 173 centimetres isn't tall, but I don't know, maybe you built like a fridge. There's a few other things that we can get to, but we can get to that a little bit later. I would say you need to be playing the game at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You need to have incredible line speed every single time in defence. You need to be getting up faster than anyone else, and you need to be making dominant tackles. Look, we've said it before, when it comes to making reps, first and foremost, the selectors are looking for size stands out. Strength and power stands out. Speed or amazing footwork, those things stand out. So some kind of physical trait, they're looking for that. Now, if you don't have a particularly physical trait, they're looking for an amazing technical trait, like really, really good tackle technique, where you're putting shots on and you're dominant players that are much bigger than you, or it could be you might be playing in the halves or at hooker, have a really good organisational game, where you guide the team around the park, you're communicating extremely well, you've got a really good passing and a really good kicking game. So they're looking for something that stands out from a physical attribute point of view or from a skill attribute point of view. Would you agree?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
A lot of players will ask, well, what about someone who's super fit and a hard worker and makes lots of tackles? And see, yeah, obviously those are good things, but the thing is, you can often find someone who is big and is super fit and works hard and makes lots of tackles, or someone who's really, really skillful and is super fit and works hard and makes lots of tackles. So it's not that those things are bad. Yes, you should have those things, but it does make it a lot more challenging and a lot harder to stand out when you don't have one of those particular attributes. This is why I said line speed and intensity. When they're watching a game, the guy that shoots out of the line every single time, 2, 3, 4 metres in front, makes those tackles, makes those one-on-one tackles dominant, that stands out. And if you're not 6'2", if you're not lightning fast, if you can't throw people around with a huge palm or throw a 30-metre spiral, then you need to do something else. You need to be in where the action now in offence. Obviously, if you're not when you're not taking your carries, you need to be, Johnny on the spot. You need to be supporting and pushing up with your forwards, running your shape, and then pushing. Even when the ball does do a shift, keep trailing on the inside. Maybe one of these guys makes a half break, and if you're there and they're like, "Look, I've seen that kid back up. He scored 2 tries because he was in the right position," that stands out. To do this kind of thing, you're going to have to be super fit, because to play this way and to play with this kind of intensity, it's really taxing, and you're probably going to gas out in like 10, 11 minutes. Yeah, I don't know, anything?
Just being a lock as well, you've got to be the main ball player or ball distribution between the hooker and the half if they're doing a backline shift. So yeah, as Joe said, very good ball skills, very fast feet, just playing very intense and being up-tempo with everything you do. Not missing a tackle in defence, having great tackle technique, being a smaller lock, as you said, almost play, have mongrel about you. Have mongrel, be angry, stay composed, but do everything with aggression. Run as hard as you can. Have some good footwork at the line, things like that.
Intensity.
That's
you
the
need
main
to be
focus.
like ADD about everything that you're doing out on the field. And look, we'll be honest. At 16, most kids are mostly finished growing. I'm not saying that that's the same with you, but the majority at that point aren't going to get that much taller. True. Some of them do. But look, 173 is small. There's no locks in the NRL that are at 173 centimetres. I want to make that clear. So perhaps when you're putting your applications in, if you put lock/hooker, they might be, oh, look, this guy's really intense and he's got a little bit of, we can use him in more than one position. That's valuable to us. If you are able to slot into dummy half if you need to. And if you write that down on the sheet and you're at a trial, they might play you, if they're 2 30-minute periods, they might play you 40 minutes at lock, and then let's just have a look at him at dummy half. And you do a good enough job, they're like, yeah, look, he's pretty versatile. Maybe we'll take him to that next stage and we'll see how we go with him. The reason I'm saying that is a lot of players, there's a lot of coaches who won't tell them the truth, parents who don't really know any better, and even like club coaches, oh no, you're plenty big enough. And then you go on to, if you go and you Google NRL heights, I can't even think of, the website that we use all the time.
Zero Tackle.
Zero Tackle.
Yep.
And they've got the heights of NRL players. You go in there and you have a look, and you have a look at how many locks are under 180 centimetres, and you might find like maybe 2.
And they're usually a hooker as well.
Like Cam McInnes is not a lock. He got into the NRL playing hooker,
Yep.
but he's got crazy intensity,
Yeah.
crazy leg speed, gets up there really fast, doesn't miss tackles.
Yep.
Like that's kind of what we're saying you need to be doing.
Yep.
One of the other ones is Havili. And he's built like, that's why I said that right at the start. He's as wide as he is tall, and he does go between lock and hooker. So something to think about.
Yep, 100%.
Next question. What's a training routine I can focus on being a forward? Get strong, fit and lean to start with.
Yep.
Get in the gym, hit the strength forms that we've talked about online countless times in Run It Straights. Joe knows they're in the same thing. If you have a look on our Instagram feed, you'll see often I'll post up tweets which seem to really grate on some people. But we put numbers up there, and those numbers are accurate for where your strength norms should be. You need to be getting your field sessions in, speed work at the start when you're fresh, and then your conditioning blocks at the end of the session. But you've said, as being a forward, it's really important for you to do position-specific skills for a forward and to work on that game. That's where that's really going to significantly change, because what we're going to do from a strength and conditioning point of view when it comes to everything else is not going to vary that much on your position. It really varies more on what you as an individual need. True?
That's true.
Because you can have backs, you can have, there's plenty of chunky centers who need to lose some body fat, and they're almost forwards because they're too fat. There's some skinny back rowers who need to put on weight, and there's some skinny wingers who need to put on weight. So that it's not really that position dependent. The skill side, however, is very, very position specific. And so you need to be working on, there's a few things that I've jotted down here. Ball handling skills is a must for everyone, regardless of what position. So you need to be getting that in. That's like water for a human, right? You need to have that. Next, offloading drills. Backhand, forehand, both static and running. You just need to get in countless reps with that to build up so you're confident with your offload. Finding your front drills when you're falling to your front, you're trying to get onto your elbows and knees at best. Belly is better than on your back, and then on your back is obviously you don't want to be leaning on your back, but you do need to practice playing the ball from those 3 positions. So if you've been rolled onto your back, being able to try and shift that defender off you and then get up to play it. If you've landed on your front but you're on your belly, to get up to your hands and knees to play it quickly, or if you're on your hands and knees to play it from that position, and practice playing the ball with both hands. Don't be one of those idiots who can only play it one-handed. There's nothing worse than seeing someone holding the ball in their bad side, get tackled, and then have to shift it across to play it. That's enough time to let them the defence get back an extra metre and a half. And selectors do look at those things. You've got to be practicing 6 o'clock passes every single day. And then if you've got someone you can do it with, contact as frequently as possible so that when it comes to a trial or when it comes to the season, you're confident doing it because you've done enough reps of it. Then that's just a start. Anything else?
That's from the skill side. Physically, obviously, as what Joe said, big, lean, strong, powerful. Making sure you're fit as well. These days, a lot of forwards are playing 30 plus minutes in the NRL. Being able to last that long, but even being able to back it up in the second half, that's one thing that a lot of players can get mixed up with. They go hard for 30 minutes, but when they get back on the field, they've got nothing left to give. So making sure you have that repeatability with your fitness and your speed.
Get your bronco time down.
Get your bronco down.
Just gives you
that's
an
the
idea.
biggest thing.
If it's lower, then you're fitter. Right? It's just this week I've probably had 5 DMs from guys that are forwards looking to play reps. I ask them a few questions, tell them to go and test their bronco. A day or two later, they come back, I got 651 on the bronco. Is that good? It's like, no, that's not good.
Yeah, you need
it's
to
not
get
good
that
at
down.
all. You got to get 90 seconds off that. You got to get it down to, if you're a middle forward, you want to be getting 520 or less. And then there's some things, depending on if you're mats or ball, getting it lower than that. And
that's the high end as well. That's the 520 is the high end. Just for an example.
If you're at 650, you're in trouble on that front. Anything else?
That's
it. Next question. How can I train my left hand to be as quality as my right for a 9 passing off the deck? Practice.
That's the biggest thing.
Put the reps in.
Almost twice as much as the dominant side.
Exactly. You haven't said whether you're talking about a 6 o'clock pass or a spiral pass. But for either one, it's definitely going to be a matter of you have to put the reps in.
Yep.
And this is one of those things people often look for, what's the guru thing or what's this special technique?
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's the
stand there
easiest
and
way,
throw
yeah.
a wall at a ball and do it until it's that boring that you can hit that same spot on the wall 99 out of 100 times. Now, when it comes to spiral passes, we did a skill video on our Instagram feed, maybe last week or the week before, about Moses throwing a spiral. There's a couple of drills in there, pistol passes, side pistol passes and back hip passes. This is for spiral. Practice those and practice them standing up just to get that movement. A lot of people, they feel really uncoordinated when they're doing it with their bad side. So just run through those drills, and we're talking about getting 30 or 40 or 50 reps on every single one of those drills before you then come across and practice passing off the deck. So, you know, almost any deficit in technique can be overcome with more work. Yeah, obviously you need to be practicing correctly, but from our experience, the reason that there's a deficit is simply because you haven't put enough work in on your bad or your uncoordinated side. Yeah, and just keep training that bad side till it catches up to your good one.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you can think of there?
Frequency, make sure it's done every day. And yeah, just do it twice as much as your good side. You know, there's a reason why your good side is better. It's because you do that a lot more often.
Yeah, and because it's better, you probably like to throw it more.
Yeah.
And so you give it more of a crack. So, you know, this is when I trained a guy who was, he loved his basketball and he was raising his kids from a young age. He's like, I'm not going to jam basketball down their throat, but I want their nervous system to be developed. It was quite fascinating, and some things that he'd read. And so he would have them on alternating. So on a Monday, they would, because he was talking about them having breakfast cereal, right? On a Monday, they would use a spoon in their right hand. On a Tuesday, they would use a spoon in their left hand. And then when they brushed their teeth, again, on those same days, it was either right day or left day. And so what was yesterday? Oh, yesterday was left day, Dad. Okay, back to your right hand. And this was because, and then it was funny because 6 years later, his kids could shoot a basketball with the same dexterity, the same accuracy with their right and with their left hands. And so this is just one of those things of putting in the reps, right, and developing both sides evenly. And most people are dominant with one hand. You know, you throw with your right hand, it feels natural. You throw with your left hand, you feel like a Gumby. You just got to get the reps in.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's a skill, so you can train it as much as you can without getting tired.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
So like, there's going to be an overuse injury or anything like that. You can stand at the wall and pass that to 100 times a day. Like it's sweet. And you don't even need someone to pass to. You know, pick a wall, find. You know, there's even those half footies now that they can practice spiraling at, and it comes back to you, so you don't have to run. But even if you don't have that, just make do with the ball, and you're good to go.
Yep. No, 100%. That's our last question. So, Cal.
Please like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on if you can. If you have any questions, any queries, please DM the Instagram page with as much detail as you can. More often than not, Joe's going to be answering the questions. Oh, well, it is going to be Joe answering the questions. Other than that, we will see you in the next video.